Hello everyone. On this video I want to talk about my opinion and vision on the state of Lunarch. As many of you know, I like to play off meta things. I started on Darkblight, then I went to Lunarch after Darkblight got murdered, and now Lunarch got murdered, right? It got nerfed really heavy on all types of damage, or you're better saying your main types of damage. So your Stellar Dash, your Satellite, uh, the class itself got like very good at on the damage aspect. It went from like 1/5, 1/4 of the original damage. So I want to talk a little bit about it. I have been trying to play it, and I tried to play like the old style that you would just like play swarms, right? Spread your satellite and then just shoot. And from that, I also try to reset your balls with like the supernova, even though it's nerfed and things like that, right? Uh, but honestly, the damage that you do now does not justify the time that you require to use on this class. So placing like orbs, spreading satellite, and then doing your DPS is a lot of setup for the damage that you're gonna be doing. That's gonna be smaller than any of the other classes that are main DPS metas at the moment. So it's really hard. Your best combo right now is literally using the Nis Orb, which is just Summon Constellation, Milky Way, and then shooting. This will still delete a bunch of DPSs, but not because of the Stellar Dash, just because of the Summon Constellation with the Milky Way. And the other skill that you're gonna be doing some decent damage is Void Slash. And Supernova in very, very specific situations, but it's nothing compared to what it was before. So the class is really hard to pull. Even playing Glass, my damage is very relevant compared to other classes. So I was struggling to play it in the way that we were playing before, which is like a mid-range to long-range class, right? Playing with your orb positioning and trying to position around clumps, or like at least trying to play around your laser range, right? Now, if you want to play the class and actually have some decent like kill pressure, the way I found to play was using a setup that actually don't use the orb as a damage, which is really weird. But basically, instead of using the orb for damage, you use the orb as a buffer, as a secondary to your daggers, which is a rare thing. Is basically putting your daggers as the primary weapon and the orb as a secondary to support your dagger damage. So what you do here is basically you use the satellite to get the 20% heavy damage, heavy extra attack. We on top of the satellite buffing every basic attack, doing more damage, right? You use things like Amplification Veil, use things like Stellar Echo to do more damage with the bonus of Rift Fracture, and the Pulsation Galaxy with the attack speed, so you can do like really, really quick damage with the dagger. So you go something like this. You proc your Lightning Fusion with Thunder Spirit, with Amplification Veil, then Satellite, and then you just do like Shadow Step into Prone, and then you do the usual combo that everyone does with the dagger, right? Using the dagger on your main hand. I was using the orb. But this combo does a lot of quick damage, like it's pretty insane. It's very similar to the damage that the crossbow dagger do, but it's actually, I believe it's a little bit more even because you get so much of the base bonus attacks combined with like the satellite buffs on the auto attacks, combined with the passive of doing more projectiles on the Stellar Echo per attack, so it ends up being more damage than the auto attacks from the Explode Dagger. But the difference is, and the struggle is, while you can do a lot of damage, you die really quick, which is normal, right, if you're playing Glass Cannon. But different from, like, for example, Crossbow, which you can play from like mid to short range. With the dagger, you can only play low range. So, for example, if you do the Shadow Strike and miss the bind, miss the prone, and the guy literally just jumps or rolls to the side or walks away, you feel pretty bad. Like the position that you're in feels pretty terrible, because it's really hard to follow up with a melee class like that compared to the, for example, Crossbow, which has a way more forgiving area around you, right? On top of that, the crossbow has a way better kit when it comes to doing other instances of damage with the crossbow quick fire and other things like that. On top of that, the crossbow also has like a mana sustain, much better mana sustain in my opinion, and a much better CC cleanse, right? Because the orb actually doesn't have the CC cleanse of the crossbow. So when it comes to like comparing those classes, the crossbow just beats basically everything related to this combo by a mile. So there's no reason to play the Lunar in this style. It's just literally a worse version of the Scorpion. And if you try to compare with like a class that is another melee, for example, the spear has way more dashes and follow-ups to keep your gap close on the enemy, and the same goes to the sword. While the sword, the great sword, has less dashes than the spear overall, the sword has a lot of CCs to compensate, while the orb really doesn't have anything. The dagger in itself only have the, I mean, it's strong, right? The Shadow Step, but that's about it, really. You don't have many skills to follow up on your first combo. You don't have a CC to follow up other than the prone. You don't have like an instant cast CC like some other classes. So playing Lunarch feels very rough, very, very rough. I tried to play in this like crit style, just going a glass cannon, and I tried to play going on this style here, which is using a mix of evasion, right? Playing with evasion felt pretty nice, to be honest, but at the same time your DPS is not ideal or like good enough to fill up the time that you combo. So if you're playing glass cannon, oh, it's not glass cannon, evasion, and you do this combo, a lot of times the target's just gonna survive with a little bit of HP and move away, and if there is a healer, you're never gonna kill the target. If you're fighting versus classes like, for example, Greatsword, they have higher HP pools, so just trying to kill those with an evasion build is much harder than, for example, an X-Bow or like a staff, right? So I have not like the results that I got from playing evasion were worse than playing glass cannon with this style. I feel like if you're gonna play with this Orbless Dagger style, playing with glass cannon is much better. It yields much better results. Let's try to pick a target. So this target has 5 million HP, right? Let's just do a full combo and see. Oh my god, the sound, the damage that it does. So like it's not a lot, like 200k on the dummy is not a lot, but you can do that really quick. It's like I said, it's a worse Scorpion by far. But it's the only way I actually found to keep playing Lunarch and actually have any kill pressure, other than playing the range far away and have like very mediocre kill pressure. But I don't have the E.Tevent daggers, I only have the Deluzhnoa daggers, so it feels really rough to play this style, because even if you kill the target, usually you're gonna have to stealth to get to your target, and if you jump, and even if you kill the target without E.Tevent, it feels so bad to like try to reposition or wait for your cooldowns. The Deluzhnoa with glass cannon is not enough for you to survive from mid, like close range, right? Like very low range. So I feel very discouraged to chase the class right now, because if you're gonna play with the melee instance of it, which is like I already displayed, like the Orbless Dagger, which I'm gonna leave here my specs and masteries in case you want to try to do something like that. There's the specs, there's masteries, there's the mastery skills. You can swap some of those for like Destruction Spear, you can do Falling Flower, you can do Lightning Speed if you don't have it. And you can try to adjust to what you think is gonna work, but that's not the point. The point, what I'm trying to say is, you can do this, but then, like I said, you're just gonna be a worse Scorpion in every possible way with shorter range. Or you can play the orb damage part, which is this setup, right? And you're just gonna be a worse Spellblade or Enigma in every possible way. So the Lunarch right now doesn't have a niche. It doesn't have like a position as a debuffer. It doesn't have a position as an engager. It doesn't have a position as an assassin. It doesn't have a position anywhere. It's literally a class that combines a support secondary DPS weapon with a support weapon, which doesn't lead to anything. At least when you combine like Dagger with one, you have access to more things. The damage that you do feels more consistent than this, for example. So it's really rough. I just wanted to make this YouTube update. You guys, I really tried. I include a few clips here and there that I recorded, probably played over like 30 to 40 battlegrounds, and I didn't get like really good results in like 30 to 35 of those. It felt terrible to be 100% transparent. Maybe if you have E.Tevent daggers, like I said, you can play this budget Scorpion style and survive and actually do more, because you're gonna pick one, reset, the usual. But then if you're gonna play like that, just play Scorpion, honestly, or just play Ravager, and you're gonna have way better results than this. So I think this class is dead. I think maybe not even with a static it's worth it. If you're playing with a static with the orb, just play Enigma or other classes. Don't play Lunarch. It's not worth of your time. It's not worth the damage that you do for the risks that you take. It simply doesn't pay off. And that's about it. A lot of you guys have been asking me what I think of the class, how I adapt the class. I tried my best to adapt the class. I tried my best to find a way to play the class, but to me, Lunarch is officially dead. It's in a worse state than like Darkblight. It's literally went from like an okay to good class to like dead class from that patch. And I think a satellite nerf is, or rework, still gonna come, which is gonna make this even worse in my opinion. But we will see. Regardless, what I plan to do here, like I said, I have been playing on NA. My character there is a healer with 7,500 gear score right now. I'm trying to get into more war games. I have been doing a lot of war games there, and I have been really enjoying like to see how the PvP, the competitive PvP works there, and how party play and communication works there. I have been enjoying a lot to have a different perspective as a healer, and right now I probably will try to either go back to Darkblight on this character, and try to experiment with new gear that's gonna come out that hopefully will affect curses, or try to test a little bit of the heavy attack bonuses, or I'm gonna move to two classes that I have in mind, one being SNS Orb, which I always wanted to test. I think it's a mega annoying class with a lot of high CC potential control, but not a lot of kill pressure. I need to test more of this. And SNS Bowl, which is another off-meta class that I think has a lot of potential, and I really want to try and see like what it can do and how far it can push. But the problem with those two classes is I don't see the damage potential in them. I see the potential of like group control in big fights, and even like medium GVG fights, but I don't see the kill pressure if you're not playing with a static or a coordinated group. So I don't see the value in like single type of class player. So I'm struggling right now to think of what I want to do. I probably will, like I said, explore a little bit more Darkblight with the new gear sets, and at the same time try to explore a little bit of the tankish side with the SNS Bow and SNS Orb. But that's about it. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry if you were expecting a solution for Lunarch. This is the best that I could come up with. I talked to some other Lunarchs, but not a single one of them kept playing the class after the nerf. Every single one of them swapped instantly to another of the meta classes, that being Scorpion or Ravager or Spear Dagger or Spellblade, you know. So I kept trying because I like playing off meta stuff, but it's not viable. It's simply like trying to make a class work when it's 5 times worse than any of the other classes. It just doesn't work, because that's how the game works. It is what it is. If anyone can figure out a way to play it, please share, but that's the best I could come with. Thank you for watching. See ya.